buy a physical copy of the paper, to access part of the story, you should not have to then pay. That's a bit I would object to. But look, I take your point. This is also the story about some poor, unfortunate child that they would like to find out what happened to him and would like to get closer to solving the case. And yeah, I can understand your point. Although the government doesn't have anything to do with this, it's purely a commercial decision made by a news organisation. Ben Aylett's here to talk technology. BenAylett.com is the website. I should point out that he's dropped in this time. And perhaps for the first time ever since he started doing this segment with me, he's out of uniform. He is not wearing his Hawaiian shirt.
No,
but there is actually a reason for this, so we don't have to ask for a note.
No, that's right. This is all above board. It's all been cleared by the authorities. I'm actually out of my Hawaiian shirts and I'm in the T-shirt that I got last week from the National Missing Persons Hackathon from 2019. And, we're going to have a chat about what it's like to be a part of a hackathon, and especially this kind of hackathon.
Yep.
Because it's actually quite different to any other hackathon.
So what was the hackathon about? Missing persons, obviously going online, seeing if anyone's left a digital footprint that might lead to finding where they may be.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Okay, we'll catch you next week. No, it's a hackathon is
a little bit more complicated than that, one would imagine.
Yeah, a hackathon usually takes the form of a competition, and in particular, cybersecurity hackathons are known as a capture the flag competition. So we form teams that teams are usually groups of 3 to 4 people. And those groups work together to achieve an objective. When we come to capture the flag teams, to capture the flag exercises, it is when we have like digital pieces that we have to pull out of a server or something, and we submit it for points.
I kind of imagine that what you're doing is a bit like making biscuits one crumb at a time.
Yes. Yeah, that's pretty accurate. We didn't get the whole biscuit together, but we got lots of little bits together.
But let's put it this way. You don't have to get the whole biscuit to know that it might be a choc chip.
There we go. That's a good analogy. I like that.
You could have a quarter of a biscuit and know that what you've got is a choc chip biscuit.
Yes.
Which I would imagine in that sense points you in the right direction. We'll talk some more about this in a moment. Hi, Muzz.
Yeah, g'day, boys. How are you?
Good.
Not too bad, Muzz. What's up, mate?
I'm trying to get a bit more understanding of Wi-Fi calling, because I have problems with my laptop dropping out at times, the reception.
Yeah.
Wi-Fi hotspot from my phone to my laptop. I don't have landline, NBN, nothing like that. But, I'm just trying to understand it a bit better, like the Wi-Fi calling.
So you're using a program like Skype, is that right?
No, just internet use my laptop. Often the reception, I'll lose reception.
All right. Help me work out the setup that you've got there. So you've got your laptop, and your laptop is connected to your phone, and that gives you an internet connection, correct?
Yeah, I use the Wi-Fi hotspot to get that connection across my laptop, yep.
Okay, and then you say when you're making a phone call with your laptop, is that right?
No, it's not. That's just using internet. My service drops out. I get sort of blackouts, whatever it might be, or black spots, and I'm doing stuff on like internet on my laptop, and I lose reception. It just drops out. I could be allowed it for 5, 10, 15, half an hour, like, you know. And I spoke to Steve today. He reckons Wi-Fi calling is the thing you can use, but I had a look at it and tried to understand it, but it wasn't fully across on how to get it working, like, you know. Yeah,
okay. So you want to use Wi-Fi calling because you're not able to make calls when this is all dropped out, right?
No, not so much call, just internet use. Is that how it works as such or not?
Okay, all right. So what's happening here? Okay, you're confusing Wi-Fi calling, which is when you use the wireless network, and I don't mean the cellular network that you get from Telstra, Optus, or anyone like that. It is the wireless network that you set up when you have home internet or office internet services connected to a Wi-Fi router.
So it's not actually used, so not internet use just for calling, is it, as such?
No. So that Wi-Fi calling, that's just a feature on the phone for when you're at home or at the office and you're using the wireless network to make phone calls.
Oh, okay. No, I'm just thinking like internet use. I keep losing reception on my laptop, so maybe I might have to get the laptop service possibly.
Yes, have the laptop looked at. Also have the phone looked at. There is something there not quite right that does need a bit of attention. So I would actually engage a professional.
It's a new phone. It happened with the old phone as well. So I think it could be reception problems with my carrier. They reckon it's not. I've rang them before several times. I thought it's okay our end. But why do I keep losing reception? I think, hey, maybe get laptop service, that might fix it. Maybe if that doesn't, well, then I know it's a network problem.
All right, yeah. So they are going through the process of elimination, yes.
Yep, and maybe what you need is someone impartial like Ben to go through the process of elimination. The reason being, because whenever you call service providers, they always say, no, it's not us.
Yeah.
It's always somebody, it's not us.
Yes.
We need to find him.
It's never us.
Right?
Yeah.
It's not us has got a lot to answer for because it's not us is responsible for a lot of faults. Hi, Chris.
G'day, fellas. Hey, look, I was just reading today that Malcolm Turnbull's just handed in his manuscript for his autobiography. I'm just wondering if him and Kevin Rudd have knocked their heads together and devoted a chapter to the NBN fiasco. I think, personally, fellas, I think this will go down as one of the greatest disasters in Australian history, as in financial and...
Yeah, but it's only been a disaster because governments were responsible. If they'd used their brains and simply said, this is a service we want, and then said to Telstra, who were the people who were responsible for the network and who own the network, you have to bring the network up to this standard, then you have to wholesale the services to all competitors at a price that does not make you give you a commercial advantage, and that's already in place anyway, there wouldn't have been an issue. But the problem is, mate, governments got involved. The moment governments get involved, it's going to be political. It's going to be rolled out on a pork barrelling marginal seats basis. I mean, mate, make a list of the problems they were going to cause, and they all came to the fore.
Yeah, enter bloody Malcolm Turnbull. I mean, the copper to the node was just ludicrous. If he just went through with Rudd and Conroy's original design, it would have cost a little bit more. But at least I would have had...
Yeah, but don't forget, Conroy wanted to censor the internet, and that was going to slow it down to nothing, mate.
Well, fair enough.
People forget that. That was Commo Conroy's plan.
Oh, well, I'm pretty sure that would have been chopped when Tony Abbott came on board. But the whole thing... It's a fiasco, and now we've got the submarine fiasco, which is an altogether...
Yeah, well, that's a different thing. That's got nothing to do with technology, but appreciate your point there, Chris.
Yeah. They got a bit of technology in them, but they're kind of out of my scope.
Yes, yeah. But the other thing is the whole problem with the NBN was the government. Yeah. Whoever the government were at any given time. Governments should not get involved in that stuff. I'll tell you, for all the criticism people could give Telstra, they would have got it right.
Oh, yeah,
you know why? Because they had decades of practice. They knew about this sort of stuff. They've been doing it for years.
And it's in their interest to make sure it goes right.
Yeah, it's in their commercial interest, of course.
Exactly.
Hi, Jeff.
G'day, Chris. G'day, Ben.
G'day, Jeff.
Yeah, just talking about technology. Your webcams for 6PR.
Right.
We've been trying to view last night and tonight, and basically all I can see is your nose, Ben, and nothing else.
All right.
He's got a pretty interesting nose, though.
Thanks a lot. Yeah, I've got a big nose. Great.
And the ads. Oh, you try and watch the live streaming. You got ads every so often. But I suppose
may I make a suggestion? It's radio. Just listen.
Or you can look at my video stream.
Oh yeah. By the way, if you want to see this, Ben's got his own video stream.
Yeah.
Set up by himself using his own equipment, and he sets it up each week and makes sure it's working.
That's right. So you can be guaranteed it works most of the time.
So where does Jeff find that?
You simply go to benaylett.com/live. There is an embedded video there, and you can also click on the link that'll take you to my YouTube channel where the live stream lives as well.
Beautiful. So it's benaylett.com/live. By the way, that's also where you'll find all of Ben's contact information. And if you'd like to have a chat to him now, if you've got some technological issues, 922 118 882.
Do you have something happening in your community?
The local school fete, a community concert, a fundraising quiz night, or perhaps your sports club needs a helping hand.
Promote it on the 6PR Community Bulletin Board. Proudly brought to you by Hyundai.
No matter how big or small your event, make sure it's on the 6PR Community Bulletin Board, a free service for non-profit groups where you live.
Email details to community@6pr.com.au. Proudly brought to you by Hyundai. All day, every day, WA.
If you're over 50, chances are you know the difference between a great energy deal and a dud. So you'll want to know all about this group discounted offer from Origin Energy at 50upclub.com. The deal will give you 35% discount on Origin's natural gas usage charges on Origin Flexi usage in WA for 12 months. It's a discount on Origin's basic charges only with no exit fees or lock-in contract. Energy fact sheets are available upon request by calling 132461. That's 132461. Get in quick for this special offer from one of Australia's largest energy retailers, Origin Energy. See how much you can save. Join the 50 Up Club for free today at 50upclub.com.
At Principal Renovations, I was flat out ensuring our clients get cutting-edge bathroom and kitchen renovations. So I needed a marketing partner to bring my business goals to life to keep us growing. Helium Marketing has delivered real results. We started off with a new website and now go to Helium for graphic design, social media coaching, SEO and blogs. They give us affordable, unbiased, friendly support and get things done fast. Why not do what I did and get everything off your to-do list with Helium Marketing? Call 1-800-HELIUM.
Celebrate at Ascot Racecourse on TAB Touch Derby Day, Saturday, November 2nd, when Horseplay returns in black and white style. Join 6PR's Steve Mills for brunch on the lawn, enjoying all the action from Flemington's best day of racing on the Ascot Super Screen. Great music, delicious food, fashion, and all the local racing live. Be part of the Ascot Racing Carnival and book a day with Millsy in the Oxford Marquee. Visit perthracing.com.au, where horseplay lives.
Ray White Real Estate invites you on the Drive for MND, October 25 to 27. Join us by registering your car for the drive to Margaret River or head to thedrive.net.au and make a donation. Join us at Ray White in finding a cure for MND.
Pick a country.
Come and fly away with me.
If you could go anywhere,
Come and fly away with me.
where would you go? 6PR is giving you the world with $20,000 travel money.
There's also luggage to be won.
Thanks to Antler,
The champions of lightweight luggage.
for your chance to win $20,000 travel money.
Register now.
At 6pr.com.au.
Come and fly away with me.
Where would you go?
Until midnight on 6PR, this is Perth Tonight with Chris Ilsley.
I'd like to have a chat to Ben Aylitz. BenAylitz.com is the website. That's also where you'll find his contact information. I'd have a chat to him now. I've got some technology issue you'd like to find out. Ben's here, 922 11882. Troy emailed us, Ben.
Yes.
Ben, have you seen Need's version of a foldable device, the Neo and Duo?
Now, I think we did a bit of digging around, and yes, there is a Microsoft branded phone.
Yes.
So this has been, it's sort of a concept. It hasn't actually been released to market yet, but they've done the concept, and it is a folding phone or a folding tablet, and it's kind of like the Samsung Galaxy Fold, where you have like a clamshell, and it opens like a book.
Okay.
Okay.
Yep.
Now, the difference is, and this is what I really like about it, is that you've got the Samsung, which has got a flexible screen. So the screen quite happily bends a few thousand times, then breaks. But that's not what this Microsoft device does.
Okay.
It's actually got a hinge, and there is a break down the spine. So you've got two screens.
It's designed that way.
Yes.
And you don't actually bend the screen, you bend a special facility that's there for it.
There's a hinge and two separate screens. A left screen and a right
okay.
screen. That's it. So I think, when I saw this, I thought it was a really, really clever technical take on a folding phone. So if the folding phone form factor really takes off, I think this will be the design that a lot of other manufacturers look at and they go to, because, it looks fine. It looks good. The bezel right down the middle is not really that thick.
Yep.
It is quite thin, and it looks great, actually. So I would actually prefer to buy something like this over a Samsung Galaxy Fold or a Huawei with the wraparound screen, because I use my devices for quite some time before I change them over. And, I can see this lasting a lot longer than a flexible screen would.
That might be the key.
Yes. That, as well as the fact that Microsoft right now, if you look at your Surface Book, your Surface Pro, your Surface Studio, they are really well-designed products.
Yeah.
Really, really good. They're kind of rivaling Apple, I think, in the way they're designed.
Oh, okay.
I think they're really
Mate, that's a big call.
Oh,
I mean, I know that you're an Apple fan, so
Yeah.
coming from you especially, that's a really big call.
yeah. It's actually a really nice device.
Cool. Can't argue with that. Now, we were mentioning, because you've got the hackathon, we've been talking about security.
Yep.
This is week 2 of security updates. You gave us a security update last week.
Yep.
What is in our security update this week?
Okay, so we've got 4 cybersecurity tips. Last week, we talked about passwords. This week...
Don't have the same word, password. 1, 2, 3, 4, 0000. None of those are good passwords.
Just be smarter when it comes to using passwords, and you can cheat by using a password manager.
Such as, and the one you recommend is LastPass.
Yes, one of my favourites. Now, week 2, since we've got passwords sorted out, right? Week 2, we are going to update. And update and update. So security updates, these are software patches or updates that are applied to Windows, Mac, your phone. So whether it's an Android.
So don't keep hitting later, or tomorrow, because in this case, tomorrow will never come. And then one day, the reason that you haven't taken on board all these updates will mean there are vulnerabilities which some hacker will exploit.
Exactly. So if you don't do updates, but if you keep a strong password and your antivirus software is all up to speed and you don't click on stupid stuff in your email, you'll still get owned. You'll still get ransomware, or you'll be infected in one way or another, because the bad guys see these security patches rolling out. They get a copy of this patch, they reverse engineer it. Now, anyone can do this. It's just that they're the ones motivated to do it. And they know which holes are being patched. And they know that some people keep saying, I'll do that update later. And they know that that machine is then vulnerable, and they also know how to exploit it. So if you don't update, you're kind of leaving the front door open. So please update not just your operating system, so that's Windows or Mac, also your phones, your tablets, get those up to date as well. But there's also the applications. So if that's Microsoft Word or Open Office or iTunes. iTunes is a classic. There was a 0-day recently that was patched.
Yep.
And now a 0-day is a patch that we didn't get any warning about, and it's actually actively being exploited by the bad guys. Usually we get a warning. When it's a 0-day, we don't get any warning. It's being used. We've got to fix it right in.
I'm actually surprised in some cases. Once again, we get back to the question I was asking last week. At some point, do we really need manufacturers to force this stuff on us? You talked about an update for iTunes. I remember a few days ago one popped up.
Yep.
And I thought, something told me it was out of sync, and that now explains why it was out of sync.
Yeah, because it was
because they looked at something that we've discovered a problem. We're doing something about it now.
Exactly. Yes. So updates. Typically, we have our Windows updates. That is the second Tuesday of every month. Or the first Tuesday. Anyway, so it's the first couple of weeks in the month.
Must be second Tuesday because they happened last week.
That'd be about right, yes.
Yeah, so it must be the second Tuesday.
Yep, so while we're sleeping, they should be updating the second Tuesday. If you've got a Mac, the updates usually come at the end of the month.
But they come monthly as well.
They're also monthly. Adobe Acrobat, so your PDF reader, the Adobe Acrobat that everyone has, that also gets updated about as like within hours of Microsoft issuing its Windows updates.
Yep.
Same thing goes for Office. And then everything else is updated as it needs to be updated.
I noted something while we're talking about Adobe. I noticed they say Adobe Flash is coming to an end.
Yes. Thank goodness. Adobe
You didn't
Flash,
like it, did you?
It served its time in the day. So before we had HTML5, which is the modern programming language that we use, and also
Hypertext markup language. Yep.
Version 5. And also Java and JavaScript and all these wonderfully powerful languages that we used before.
Java's been around for a while, though, hasn't it?
It has.
That's got a bit of a dubious reputation as well. Is that fair or unfair? Or is it, once again, is it lack of updates that causes a problem?
Updates, yes.
Okay.
You just apply your updates and you're safe. The thing with Flash, though, is that it was ideal for animation. It's still being used for animation, like the guys at South Park.
Yep.
They use that. It is great for animation, but it hands over too much power through web pages. So animation in movie studios, fine. It works great.
Yep.
But as a public web page that you go and access, you're actually giving way too much permission or way too much access to the Flash system on your computer for it to be considered, well, properly safe. It's also very power hungry, so it really gobbles up the processor resources, and in turn it gobbles up the battery life, which is why Apple never supported Flash on the iPhone or the iPad.
So what's going to replace it? I mean, there's a whole raft of things, obviously, that that ran Adobe Flash. What will ultimately replace it?
Well, the Flash websites that don't get updated to run something else, they'll simply, I suppose, keep humming in the background and people will stop visiting and they'll eventually be forgotten. The technology that can quite happily replace Flash is HTML5.
Okay. So the technology is already there. It'll just be a simple replacement.
Well, yes. Yeah. It's a rewrite.
All right. If you'd like to have a chat to Ben, 922 118 882, benaylett.com is the website. That's also where you'll find his contact information. But our number, 922 118 882.
Start your day the right way.
Our discussion, Millsy and I, got to the weird and wonderful things you could buy at Bunnings. It's the sort of store...
Have you got one of these?
Yeah, it must fit this, or it has to be exactly this size. So what have you taken into Bunnings?
With Steve Mills and Basil Zemplis.
I took my greyhound dog in. I had to build her a kennel.
Yeah, I took in the toilet flusher thing, the bit that goes in the cistern underneath the press bit.
Breakfast with Steve Mills and Basil Zemplis. Tomorrow morning from 5 on 882 6PR. Or catch up now at 6pr.com.au.
Ah, there you are. Let me tell you about buyradio.com.au. Buy Radio has special advertising packages to help small businesses.
Like mine?
Just like yours. Talk to 6PR listeners.
Like me.
Who are interested in hearing what you have to say. In fact, 6PR reaches 200,000 interested people every week. So if you want to build a better business, buy radio at buyradio.com.au.
It's not surprising that West Coast Office Equipment only deal with the best in office equipment, like HP. They have a great range of HP colour multifunction printer and scanners. And with very competitive finance options, you can rent, buy or lease office equipment. Plus, their factory-trained technicians are always on hand whenever there's a problem. But don't just take our word for it. Call 9201 0300 or Google westcoast.net.au.
WA, when it comes to maintaining our nation's submarines, the best team is right here. The state government is now on a mission to secure all maintenance of Australia's submarines.
We have highly skilled apprentices ready to go, with more than 3,000 jobs to be created over the coming decades.
We have brilliant WA businesses who will apply their skills, and it will inject over $8 billion into the local economy.
It's in the national interest to bring all Collins-class submarine maintenance to WA. Join our mission. Search Defence West. Authorised by the State Government, Perth.
Things are about to get intense at Dave's workshop. He went to bizcover.com.au and saw how much he could be saving on his public liability insurance. So now he's getting his old policy out of his system. BizCover are Australia's small business insurance specialists, giving tradies like Dave multiple quotes from top insurers. No nasty paperwork, just hassle-free insurance online. Don't pay too much for your business insurance. Head to bizcover.com.au to compare, insure and save.
Australians are practical people, so what about a useful everyday diary for women full of essential health information that also saves lives? Now that's something. The Australian Women's Health Diary funds life-saving breast cancer trials research. Buy one for yourself or someone you love and do something that does something. It's just $18.95 from newsagents, Woolworths and magshop.com.au. The Australian Women's Health Diary. Buy the diary that saves lives today.
This is Perth Tonight with Chris Ilsley on 882 6PR.
Ben Aylett's here talking technology. Don't forget his website. It is benaylett.com. 1 L, 2 T's in Aylett. That's also where you'll find all of his contact information.
That's right.
Hi, Steve.
Yeah, question for Ben.
Fire away, Steve.
Ben, you talk about updates. So you got to do updates.
Yes.
Well, in my experience, every time you seem to do an update with Windows 10, there's always a problem. There's always a glitch. There's always some sort of problem. It always happens every time you do updates.
Every
Tell
time?
me why. Every time? Every time. Always a problem.
So you've had, so far, we're in, October, so you've had 10 problems so far with your updates.
Absolutely. Every time I do an update on the Windows, and being at work, it's always a problem. It's corrupted another file. It's corrupted this file. It's always a problem. Even with Apple, every time you do updates, they don't get it right.
Okay.
I know what Steve's talking about there.
It's just
saying you fix one problem, but another's created. Yeah, I understand what you're saying.
Correct.
Yeah.
All the time.
All right.
And I'm not the only one that experiences it. I pay support every month, and it's the same thing. You do an update, and it corrupts another program. So you talk about updates, yeah. But if you're running multiple programs on your laptop, which you use it for work,
yep.
What's the point? What's the point of updating?
Well, I did explain the point of updating. It's because you want to protect yourself, but then I suppose if they are causing you problems, you've got to weigh up if you're willing to keep things the way you expect to keep them running and run the risk of being compromised, which could result in things like ransomware, complete loss of data. I mean, it could be pretty catastrophic if it goes wrong. Or you can update and it may cause problems with other packages or it may cause problems with your system. This is a good reason to do things like backups and make sure you've got backups. This is a tip we'll be covering later on in the month. But you can also use system restore. So it is still safe to do an update, but at least we've got a way to roll back if those updates do fail.
Good luck with that,
possible.
Steve.
Yes.
Look, I appreciate exactly what Steve's saying. I know exactly what he's saying.
It is,
and I know why he's saying it, that you fix one problem, you get an update, and it seems to bring in another problem that you never had previously.
Yeah, and this is, I mean, even though it doesn't, it does happen, but in my experience, it's pretty isolated. So I have hundreds of machines updating every month, either mine or customers' machines. And in most cases, actually, I'm still yet to have an update fail this year.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks very much for that, Steve.
Yep.
92211 Now, something else you wanted to mention, you have got the Hackathon T-shirt on.
That's right.
By the way, 1 day a week in the year is acceptable for you to be out of uniform. Don't want to see it again, though.
Understood. Noted. Yeah. Okay, so about this hackathon, the one thing that I wanted to really stress about this is not your typical tech head hackathon.
Yeah.
Because we're dealing with missing persons and we're just searching the internet, we're trying to find links or traces to people or people they've interacted with, it's not really a technical exercise. It's really an exercise in using Google and reading. And it's just putting a lot of manpower into a very simple task of looking at the information on the internet, trying to find something that's relevant, and then once it's relevant, you report it through the system set up through the hackathon, which, so what I'm trying to say is that next time the hackathon rolls around, I would love to see lots of 6PR listeners and other people who normally wouldn't be doing this sort of thing. And I've also found that people with a bit of life experience are able to join the dots a little easier than some of the young guns coming out, the new graduates with all these cybersecurity skills. So if you think you don't have the skills and you've got nothing to offer, think again. You might not have the skills, but you do have those life skills and that ability to think outside the box and join the dots.
And and look at something and realise what it's really telling you, not what it obviously appears to be telling you.
Absolutely, yeah. So really all you need to do is bring a laptop.
And that's it.
That's it. Bring a laptop and a cheery disposition and, yeah.
You also need, I would imagine you need to bring a bit of patience, because sometimes what you're doing is you're focusing on something. You could be doing it for quite a while.
Yep.
It doesn't appear to be going anywhere, and all of a sudden, whack, there it is.
Yeah. And look, don't expect that you're going to solve the world's problems in the 6-hour window that we might get next time. So it's a 6-hour hackathon, and that's actually relatively short compared to other hackathon events, which can go for 48 hours.
So, 48 hours?
Yes.
Yeah.
So, but they're the really technical ones.
Yeah, but this is good too, because it also helps find information that can be quite valuable.
Yep.
And sometimes the little bits that people spill, I use the analogy of the biscuit crumbs. You just need to know what kind of biscuit it is, because that then tells you where to look.
Yeah. And so some of the stuff that we uncovered, I'm not going to go into the specifics, but there was a particular case that I was chasing, and one of the subjects wrote a book or a series of books. We found a website that was related to the book. Once we found the website, we were able to find the webmaster, their email address. We also found the company that hosted the website as well. So there's another possible contact there. And yeah, some of the guys actually took a complete copy of the book and they ran through some filters, and it was like CSI. It was awesome. It was really, really cool.
But the other thing is too that somebody does something or you find something.
Yeah.
To you it appears insignificant. You mention it to a family member, and there might have been a few years that have gone under the bridge, and they turn around and go, "Oh yeah, Ben was really interested." Like, for example, we talk to you. A lot of people who've never met you know that you're a tech nerd.
Yes.
What they don't know is that you are very interested in and involved in surf lifesaving.
That's right.
Now, imagine that we know all this stuff. We find out about Ben and he's a missing person. We find out about his tech life.
Yep.
And it's like, yeah, okay, well, everyone knows that Ben was a computer technician. Yeah.
That was public
And
knowledge.
then all of a sudden somebody comes out with something and says surf lifesaving. Right? Then they go and talk to a family member.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe one of your kids. Oh, yeah, Dad was into surf lifesaving. All of a sudden, a connection that wasn't there before has now been made, and the family member completes it.
Exactly.
So what happens then? You're then able to go and talk to the surf lifesaving clubs that you were involved in. Oh, yeah, he was here. And then you suddenly go, gee, we didn't know about this.
Yeah.
He liked so where did he like to go camping? And all of a sudden you can start to put together a piece.
Exactly.
Yeah. That's really good stuff.
And that's how it works.
Yeah. And the thing is that a lot of that stuff is gathering information. I suppose it's a form of intelligence gathering.
Yes.
And it's not about being a computer geek.
Yep.
And that's the key, isn't it?
Yeah. So when it comes to hacking, what we're doing is we are performing the first stage of a hack, and that's the social engineering and the intelligence gathering. After that, we then start – it starts off with the intelligence gathering, and then we go to the social engineering.
Yep.
And the social engineering means sending emails to people pretending to be someone else and getting more information.
Yep.
And then eventually sending that little virus or that ransomware. And that's traditional hacking. What we're doing is we're doing the intelligence gathering and stopping there.
Yep.
So there's no technical skills, and we're not being bad. We're being good. And I'm really looking forward to the next one.
Yeah, it sounds like you really enjoyed it, which I think is great.
Absolute ball.
Beautiful. My friends, we shall talk to you next week. Always a pleasure.
Always.
By the way, don't forget, benaylett.com, 1 L, 2 T's in Aylett. That's where you'll find all of Ben's contact info.
Random acts of kindness. Thanks to WA Asset, the bathroom renovators.